Okay, so welcome to. I don't think I did a season review or review. But this is kind of like reviewing how the season ended, our off season, and kind of the outlook for season two of the fourth and one franchise is the Chicago Bears. We just completed the draft. Now we aren't on it here for if whoever the hell decides to actually watch this who isn't in the league. We did it on a spreadsheet. We're all setting our draft boards. And then we are advancing through. So we'll be doing that sometime Monday, maybe Tuesday. So I had four picks. Um, these are them here. None of these guys are going to make the team except Jonathan Graves. He's actually pretty solid. He's a 71 or a 70 overall, I believe he was. He's 21, 90 speed, acceleration, 95 agility, and I change of direction, good juke move. So he's going to be a really good slot here for the spread. These two guys are just dog shit. They're going to get cut. I had hopes for him, but he's terrible. He's a 64 overall, so who knows if he'll even make the team. We finished, I guess, on the season. We made it all the way to the NFC Championship game. We started 5-4. Things were looking a little rough for us, but rallied off running the table. I think we won 8 or 9 in a row in the regular season. Beat the Packers and Panthers to go to the NFC Championship game, where we lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 35-28, despite 2 defensive touchdowns and like 5 turnovers forced. Offense really struggled. So we decided to really overhaul this team. There was a lot of holes on this team, and the fact that we got to the NFC Championship game, in my opinion, was a pretty good season. Going into it, I was like, God, if we can get 10 wins, just make the playoffs. Who knows what happens? But we, for the most part, had a really good year. We were a top, 5, 6 ish team for the majority of the year. Outside of the first 9 games were a little up and down here, but after that, we just kind of ran it and kind of been where we should have been. So we'll see how it goes here, but I kind of like the moves we made. So we brought in Mariota to be the backup to Fields. I just want, if anything happens to Fields, I have a guy who I do not need to change the offense at all for. Also, if you're watching the Penn State Ohio State game, they had a pretty cool motion out flex diamond thing going from tight out wide. That was pretty cool. Anyways, so if something happens to Fields, I do not have to change a single thing about how I'm operating with Mariota at quarterback, which is exactly what I wanted. So very happy to land Mariota as a backup. Now, running back, we still got Montgomery, but we went out and we signed Tony Pollard in free agency. A lot of people will probably question the move, be like, why in the hell would you go after Tony Pollard? Montgomery was really good. Well, we want to go a nice balanced system in terms of backs. We don't want to feed one guy too much and be completely reliant on him. Plus, it's nice to have a guy who does have a little bit of burst because, Montgomery in the open field, he could run you over, he could juke around you, but he isn't beating anyone in a race. Tony Pollard is going to be excellent for the spread offense. They're both going to get a ton of reps. They're both going to get a good amount of yards. Ideally, they both have 1,000 yards rushing because we are switching to more of a spread to run instead of kind of a passing first type of approach. So we really like what Tony Pollard can bring to the table. Kind of behind them, Khalil Herbert's still there. He's essentially going to be the backup to what Montgomery's role will be. And then Darrington Evans is kind of the backup to, what Tony Pollard is. And then Tristan Ebner, Rodney Smith are kind of going to duke it out. I'm going to have to pick which one of them will be the kind of fifth back we carry, if we carry a fifth back. No fullback, obviously. Receiver, still Darnell Mooney, bringing him back. We went out and we got Juju Smith-Schuster in free agency. He is going to man kind of the slot right now for season one. Kind of bummed that I went out and got him, paid him for like a 3-4 year deal. If you look at his contract here, gave him, I think, a 4-year deal, which isn't too crazy. It's not like he's making big money. He's making 11, 12, 12, basically 11, 12, 13, 14. So nothing super crazy, and we could probably cut bait after 2 seasons if we really wanted to, and we really like the other slot, but he's going to be perfect for us in the slot. Obviously he's not a burner, which you don't need a burner in the slot. He's going to do just fine, but he's got great hands, which is really what I wanted to. Good hands, good route running, pretty good after the catch as well. I guess we can just look in the ratings. Pretty good after the catch, physical, can juke, whatnot. So that's exactly what I wanted from my slot. Just a guy who's bigger target, going to be able to hang onto the ball when I throw it to him. We did sign Nelson Aguilar not to be a starter. Tyquan Thornton is going to kind of be our outside receiver there, our deep ball guy with his 96 speed. But Aguilar is essentially the backup to either Mooney or Thornton if anything goes down with them. Could play if we go some four wide receiver sets and whatnot. Tyler Johnson's the backup slot. Isaiah Coulter is basically the fourth string, kind of outside the Z and X receiver. And then that rookie I drafted there, he's on it. So we'll carry 7 receivers. Tight end, nothing really changed here. We still have Knox, still have O'Keefe as kind of our run blocker if we ever need him to come in and kind of block down. And then we signed Devin Funchess just to be the backup tight end. Knox got hurt down the end of the season on a fucking week 7, or the last game of the year. He got hurt on a PAT when he wasn't supposed to be there because I have formation subs, and, you know, that kind of dampened things there. But got a nice backup tight end in case anything happens. Funchess will be fine. This is where we really overhauled things. I completely overhauled this offensive line. We went out and we got Orlando Brown. We paid him a pretty penny to anchor down the left side of that offensive line. I believe we gave him a 4-year contract, and he's making 16, 17, 18, basically 20 million. So he's making about 18-ish million a year for us to hold down the left side of that offensive line. I prefer more finesse blockers. We run a lot more zone than we do kind of gap man schemes, but he can do either one. So it's not anything that's outlandish. And he's got actually an 83 run block finesse, 84 power, 86 run block power. Sorry. So he's just good all around. He's a little slow, but I don't give a shit. Just block, just move people. And he's huge. He's 6'8", 360. Left guard still Cody Whitehair. Absolutely going to keep him here. Just making sure that, you know, we have someone good here on the left guard still. If I had an upgrade or a chance to get someone equivalent for less, I would have, but no, it's not worth it. Center, we went out and got Connor McGovern. He's actually, I think, a 78 overall, 77 overall, something like that, but he's perfect. Everything's in the 75 or up except for his pass block power, which that's whatever. 73 will totally be just fine. Discipline trait, so we are very happy there. We also got a backup center, Nick Gates, just in case anything happens to someone on the interior O-line. I just want someone who's okay, and he's fine. Tevin Jenkins, we actually kicked from tackle to guard. He plays guard in real life, I think. That's where the Bears moved him, so why not? He'll be a fine guard. He's not really anything that's that good on the edge as a pass blocker, and he kind of screwed us there, but he's a hell of a run blocker, which will be great inside for him. We also then got another backup interior lineman, Wes Schweitzer, some white name. Going to be the number 1 backup interior O-line. If anything happens to any of them, he can step in and do more than a fine job. And then obviously, Tyree Carter's still there. He'll probably make the practice squad. Then we went out. We also got Jack Conklin at the other tackle spot. We went all in on these tackles. I am so sick of having to throw the ball right away, keep extra guys in all the time, and have no help from my tackles. Unfortunately, some of these fuckers have undisciplined penalty traits. I think like 3 of my offensive linemen do. So we're going to probably get flagged for some holdings this year, which is going to be rather annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. We gave him, I think, a 2-year contract. Might have been a 3-year contract. Yep, 3-year contract, but he's making about $10 million a year, $10.5 million a year. After 2 years, if he regresses hard, we can just cut bait. We can probably even cut bait next year if we wanted to and still gain some cap. Now, we also revamped this defense, specifically in the front 7. We went out and we got Bradley Chubb and we got Tyquan Lewis. These are going to be our base ends. So when I'm in, and we switched from a 3-4 to a 4, or excuse me, from a 3-4 to a 4-3. So when I'm in base 4-3 packages or short yardage situations, these are going to be our 2 DNs. I love having guys in that mid to high 270s, low 280s range, and guys who have right around 80 or higher block shedding. Both these guys, I think, are 79. Bradley Chubb, no, he's 81. So Bradley Chubb's 81. Tyquan Lewis, I think he's 79. Yeah, okay, so he was 79. So these guys are athletic, they're strong, they can play the run well. He does offer a little bit of upside as a pass rusher, Tyquan Lewis does. Bradley Chubb is going to be our best edge rusher this year, which is great. We love having him here, and we got him for 3 years, $30 million. So just about $10 million a year, going to be perfect for us. Now, as the right end, these guys are all coming back. Carter Coughlin, Dominique Robinson, those are kind of edge pass rusher depth. Travis Gibson's going to be our pass rusher opposite of Bradley Chubb when it's nickel pass rush situation, simply because he's just got a better pass rush move, 81 finesse move, but he has a sub 70 block shed. His strength is not very good, so I just do not really want any of these guys on base downs or short yarded situations. So that's why we went out and got Tyquan Lewis. Now, trade of the offseason for us, we gave up both first-round picks to acquire Quinnen Williams from the New York Jets. I know it says he's an 86 overall, but he's also right close to an upgrade, and he's actually an 88 overall, just due to the Jets being the worst team in the league this year, so his morale is a little bit lower. But we love having him there. 89 strength, 85 block shed, 84 power, 75 finesse, 90 awareness, almost an 80 speed. Again, undisciplined penalty traits. We've got too many fuckers out here who are just going to go and get us stupid penalties, which I'm sure is going to cost us in a game this year. We're going to have a game this year where penalties just bite the shit out of us. But we still kept Justin Jones as our third string D tackle. He was our best D tackle last year. Obviously, Oliver was a D end in our 3-4. So for a guy who was starting and playing almost every single down, he now is basically not going to play. Just goal line, and if one of these guys get hurts. If it's a really, really short yarded situation, we might just bump Ed Oliver out of there to throw in Justin Jones. But other than that, we're really not going to see much of him on the field. And we got Maurice Hurst to kind of be a backup to Ed Oliver. So basically, if Quinnen goes down, we'll kick in Justin Jones. If Ed Oliver goes down, we'll kick in Maurice Hurst, most likely, because he's got a little more of a pass rush upside. And then Asizi Atameo, if we keep him, just kind of depth. Otherwise, he'll be a practice squad guy. Now, we also overhauled our linebacking unit. We bring back Kamal Martin to be a backup outside linebacker, and we also went out and we signed Jermaine Pratt to a 3-year deal. We're paying him $4 or $5 million a year, kind of to be a nice little cover backer opposite of Rashaan Evans, who we did bring back and we extended. He's not a great run defender, so short yarded situations, we might take him out, but he can tackle, he can hit, he can run, he's got good pursuit, but he's going to get kind of bodied up by some guards, but we really liked bringing in Jermaine Pratt. We brought in Anthony Walker Jr. as well. That was another one we were very, very happy to get. Speaking of which, he is an outside linebacker for us, so let's do that right now before we forget. And if we get disconnected, that's going to be fantastic. And we will kick Noah Dawkins to left outside linebacker. And then we are going to move Kamal Martin to the Mike middle linebacker spot there. Meant to do this before the video, so sorry about this. Perfect. So that's kind of how we're going to look. We brought in Noah Dawkins. These guys are going to kind of be that pass cover guy if we ever have anything where we need to have a cover unit player come in. Rashaan Evans still, Kamal Martin, those will kind of be our Mike linebackers. And then our right outside linebackers will be Blake Cashman, Anthony Walker. Now, Anthony Walker is definitely better. He's like 76 overall. Just, again, the morale is a bit low. Decent in coverage. He's basically a run linebacker. He'll only play on base downs. He's not really going to do much for us when we're a nickel or only have 2 off-ball linebackers on the field. But 1-year contract, nice depth. Good to have a player like this as your third best linebacker. And obviously we brought back Blake Cashman, so he'll there. And, as Blake Cashman progresses, we could just start Cashman over Anthony Walker as well if we really want to. Cashman's faster, he hits better, covers better. Block shedding's about the same. Pass rushing's about the same, if not in favor of Cashman. Yep, favor of Cashman. And what is... there's one other one I wanted to look for. I want to look for pursuit. Yeah, again, Cashman's right there. Basically, the only difference is the awareness is significantly in Anthony Walker. So, we might have just answered it there. It might be Cashman. Corners, we didn't do a whole lot. Top 3 are still here. Jaylon Johnson, Christian Fulton, Kyer Elam still here. Troy Hill, Darius Phillips brought in to be kind of our backup corners. We really like Troy Hill in the slot. We really like Darius Phillips having to step in outside if need be. And then we'll have one of these 3 make the roster. Most likely going to be Kendall Vildor. He'll probably get the call. Otherwise, we might go with Luke Barco. Marku, something like that. But really thinking Kendo Vildor just because he's got a 70 zone and 77 press. So we really like having that on the team. A lot better than the other two guys. Edmonds still, he's back. We got Marcus Epps to be the backup to him. Jaquan Brisker, we got Ryan Neal to be his backup. Kicker, punter, the same. Trenton Gill, Cairo Santos. He'll be cutter practice squatted. And then next year, pick wise, we have a second, fifth, 2/6, and 2/7. So that's about it. We kind of like what we're going to do. We're going to be running kind of a too high shell base quarters ish defense. We will bring that safety down, run some cover three for those run happy teams, but hoping we actually have a better defense this year and that we can just control the ball a little bit more, take our turnovers down just a tick. We were one of the more efficient teams last year, but we've got a little over 30 million in cap still. We're going to roll over that to next year. We got some big guys coming up for re-signs next year, which is going to be kind of a bitch here. So if we go to our team salary screen, I don't care about Mariota, Funchess, Darrington Evans, Carter Coughlin, whatever. We'll re-sign him. But we've got Travis Gibson that needs to be re-signed. Christian Fulton needs to be re-signed. Quinnen Williams needs to be re-signed. Ed Oliver, Jaylon Johnson, Darnell Mooney. It's going to be a tough one, especially because we only get 2 in season. We're going to have to lock up probably Quinnen and Ed and hope to God these others sign with us. Otherwise, we could have some good players enter free agency. So we might look to make a move as well to just get another guy with a year of contract control under us. Because if you look at the next year, really nobody crazy's up for a deal. Fields is. So we'd want to make sure that we don't bring in too many guys and kick the can down the road too much. But outside of just Fields, we really don't have anyone under contract that needs to be signed there. And then we got a ton of guys coming off the books in 2025. So that's kind of the review of the offseason. We don't know the order of games, but we do know we play the AFC West and the NFC South for our main divisions. And then we also get a matchup with an NFC or with an AFC North team. So I'll play the Steelers, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Bucks, my division. And then also I will play the Commanders and I will also play the Rams. So tough schedule, but we got a lot better and we are very confident. So thanks for watching this and see ya.